Well, hello, everybody. It is Dennis and Andy with your movie review just for you. And this week, well, a few things came out, but I think the most anticipated movie is the one that we went and saw last night, and that would be Ghostbusters Afterlife. Who are you going to call? You know, Dennis, the one catchphrase in that movie from the beginning that I always related to, and definitely more as an adult, is busting makes you feel good.
It
Busting
did.
does make me feel good.
And you know what? I will say this movie made me feel good.
So, what's it about, Dennis?
So the cast from Afterlife returns, and there's a discovery of an ancient artifact that unleashes an evil force. But the OG Ghostbusters and the new Ghostbusters must join forces to protect their home, New York City, and save the world from a second ice age.
That's right. And like Dennis said, Paul Rudd is back, of course. Um, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, um, the guy that plays well, he's the mayor of New York now, but what was he in the first one? What's the actor's
He
name?
was he was the EP administrator.
That's
Um,
right.
yeah, it's William Atherton, and he's now the mayor.
Yep, he's the mayor. And then also not from Afterlife, but from their originals, uh, the secretary. What's her name?
Annie Potts. Yeah, I
That's
was
right,
so
Annie
excited
Potts.
when I saw Annie. This goes all the way back to Corvette Summer when I first saw her acting. She's always been a favorite. I loved I love the fact that they brought back just about everybody from the original. Problem is, like with anything, they brought them all back. They introduced brand new characters, plus all the ones from Afterlife. So the one thing that this movie suffers from is it was just under 2 hours,
Yep.
and there was not enough time to incorporate meaningful stories for all the characters. What
That
they
I
did do,
agree
they were
with.
good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Usually we do non-spoiler, show the graphic, and then spoiler. We're not doing a spoiler one for this movie.
This will be a
Um,
fully spoiler free.
yeah, but I will say I thought the wrap up, and they show in the trailer the big bad looking demon ghost ice guy. Um, I thought that got taken care of way too quick.
Yeah, so I will say that the
It felt
positives,
rushed.
there's a lot of positives in this movie. The positives were the chemistry that was in there. This felt like the original Ghostbusters in terms of its happiness, lightheartedness, the fun.
Mhm.
Didn't matter if it was Afterlife or the OG Ghostbusters. They it was enjoyable. Everything that they did, they had a lot of member berries in this, and they did a good job overall. Um, I love the fact that McKenna Grace, she played Phoebe. She was fantastic as her. She's older, and she's going through this awkward teenage. I'm smart, but yet book smart, but not really wise. And they do a nice job of playing on that. Um, you know, there was just so much good chemistry and a lot of jokes. Some hit, some didn't, but still, overall, it was just fun.
Yeah, it definitely was a real fun movie, and I second that. I thought obviously the chemistry with the original OG Ghostbusters, it was like they were never apart. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, um, Annie Potts. What's the actor's name? I'm
Ernie
forgetting.
Hudson and
Ernie Hudson. And you know what's weird? I should not forget that because I met him in person
yes,
at a
at the
convention.
convention.
Yeah, at a convention, and he's the one that I shouldn't forget. But Ernie Hudson, great guy. Those four just gel like they've never been apart. And then the new group, Paul Rudd, the two kids, and then who plays the mom? I
Carrie Coon,
Carrie
she
Coon, that's it. I
they
love
had
Carrie
great.
Coon as an actress.
Yep.
Watched her in a few things, and they have great chemistry as a family. And then you put the 4 and 4 together, so you've got the 8, and they have great chemistry.
Yep. And then they introduce Kamal Nanjiani. He plays
Yeah,
Nadeem, and again, his stuff's hit or miss, but for the most part, it hit. It was funny. He has great comedic timing and is great. Patton Oswalt, which you see in the trailer, he makes his appearance, and that's great. And they bring back Lucky, and they introduce a new character, which is part of Winston's group, which is great. You get introduced to that, and then as well as we'll call it Melody the Friendly Ghost that you get
yeah,
introduced to. So they all had their very nice segments in this.
yeah. And the movie starts off the way a movie like this should start off. It starts off, it sets up the big evil guy in the past. We'll leave it at that. And then in the present, it starts off with the Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters, Paul Rudd and crew, going out in the car and tracking down ghosts through New York. Nice, chase scene with the car chasing the ghost. You get Phoebe hanging out the side door. It just gets right into the action. Of course, like we talked about, the guy from the original is now the mayor, and he still has this hard on to shut him down. So you've got that conflict going on. Um, it's a pretty straightforward script, kind of like all the other Ghostbusters movies were, and that's not a bad thing because it's just meant to be a fun movie. And yeah,
There
I
are
mean, it was.
there were a number of things that I will say I won't delve into them because we're going to keep this spoiler free. There were a lot of plot holes, a lot of inconsistencies that I was just like, okay, got to get past that. And you have to
Yeah,
because there's so much fun. If you can do that and not micro focus on the very many plot holes and plot armor that they needed to, this is really a just a fun movie. But yeah, there were just so many contrivances in order to get things in there, things that didn't make sense. What the mayor was doing, when logic and there's all this stuff going in. But look past that, and you're just going to have family fun. This is great for the whole family.
yeah. I mean, that's it. It's kind of like if you like Ghostbusters, take out the one before Afterlife that has nothing to do. They don't even talk about it. Where it was the ladies Ghostbusters. Take that crap out. It's good. Like Dennis said, it is definitely a movie that does have its issues with. I mean, there was one thing that I leaned over to Dennis and I was like, yeah, that's weird. They could have probably edited out. So yes, does it have its problems? It does, and we've said it a lot through the past 8 minutes. It's just an enjoyable, fun movie. My daughter went with us. She thought it was great. So
Yeah,
yeah,
we're good. We want it to be spoiler free because this one really is a fun movie. And all we mentioned beforehand was, do we want to do spoilers? No, we want you guys to go and enjoy this, and this is one for the whole family. Take everybody to go see it. If you like Ghostbusters and you like the afterlife, you will definitely like this.
yeah. And if you're around our age, you remember the original Ghostbusters. If it's just you and your spouse, it'd be a fun date night as well. It's worth seeing on the big screen for sure. I guess we're going to rate this sucker. So I think it's your turn to go first. I went first last week.
It is. Like I said, I'm not going to delve into the negatives because there's a few big plot holes that drove me crazy. But with that being said, 7.5. I enjoyed it. I chuckled a number of times. I openly laughed a couple of times as well. The special effects were great, and the big bad looked decent. I really
Yeah.
thought it gave that nice Ghostbusters. Let's have a good looking big bad for it. Like in the trailer where you see the lion come alive. I loved it. There was just so many good things to like about it. 7.5. Go see it.
Yeah, and I'm close. I'm lower, but I'm close. I'm a 7.0 straight up. Same thing. It was a fun movie. I didn't walk out of there. There are certain movies that have plot holes that just destroy a movie. You just walk out and you're like, oh my God, seriously? This movie did have them, but at the same time, you still walked out and seeing the old guys on screen and the new crew, it just, it makes you feel good. So,
It does. Now,
yeah,
there is a mid-credit scene.
yeah,
I do not believe there's anything
there's not.
long-term ranging with it. It was a cute gag. It was funny. I enjoyed it. So if you like that, stick around for a little bit into the credits.
All right. Do we have anything from IMDb or Rotten or anything?
Rotten Tomatoes is only critics. Critics hate this movie, 46%.
Shocking.
I think the critics are completely on crack right now. Just saying, I just give up on the critics. And Rotten Tomato, IMDb, no rating. There
Not
is
yet.
nope,
Well,
they have not. So, well, you'll have to check that later. So they have not released any ratings for it. But the popularity is rising very heavy on it, which means I'm surprised there's no rating on it. But if you guys really want, check it out later.
there you go. And what you need to check out is Kor-Drath the Awakening, guys. The hit, I guess you could say, sequel to Kor-Drath the Reckoning is going to be launching April 13th or 14th. That's a Saturday, Sunday. We need to nail down which one of those 2 days we're doing it, but it is that weekend. So sign up and back the book and get this free, beautiful Adriana trading card drawn by me, colors by Kelsey Shannon, and front of the line shipping. There is, of course, the main cover by myself and Dan Lawless, the homage cover right there by, of course, well, I did everything. I even colored it. So there's the homage cover. And then, I didn't upload it yet. So I'm going to stall a little bit so I can upload it. Blah, 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 stall. Forget it. I can't find it that quick. I wanted to. I was going to share the Bud Root cover, but you know what? We did a stream 2 days ago with Dan Lawless on Wednesday. So just go watch that video. Heck, even if you don't want to watch the whole thing, fast forward, you can see the Bud Root variant cover for this book. But I can show you this Bud Root cover. This is for Kor-Drath the Reckoning. You could call it second chance if you missed out on it. This will be part of the campaign. And we're featuring this.
Cover.
Oh, yeah. So a second print of a book deserves a second new cover. So there you go. That'll be part of the campaign. Join us for that. And join us later today for Nice and Tight, the comic book pencil art of Andy Smith. That's me. 64 pages, oversized book featuring some of my favorite fully penciled pages. We are closing this out starting at 3 p.m. today. Going live. We'll have some guests on the show. Kind of just a nice Friday afternoon hangout, chill with some guests. We're less than, oh, look at that. Got another backer. So we are $187 away. Is that math correct?
I don't know. I can't see it.
8813. That is correct.
8813. So yeah, you're
187 away from the $9,000 stretch goal, which will get a nice wire binding for the book instead of the staple, so you can really lay it flat when you open it. So you could pop tracing paper over it to practice inking, or get the digital edition to practice that way. So there you go, guys. Next Wednesday at 3 p.m., our guest is Paul Ravoche, fantastic artist. He actually worked on backgrounds for this animated feature that was nominated for an Oscar this past year. It did not win, but He did beautiful background stuff. So we're going to talk to him about his career. And we already know next week we're seeing Godzilla vs. Kong. So
already got tickets.
That's right. Already got the tickets. So anyhow, guys, we'll see you later at 3 p.m. today. Join us for that closeout and like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. There you go. Nice and Tight, the comic book pencil art of Andy Smith. That's me. This book features 52 pages of some of my favorite full pencils that I did for other companies over the past 2 decades. The raw pencils as they were seen by the inker, and now you can see them for the first time. This book also comes in a digital format so you can practice your inking in your favorite program. Back it today.